Hello, good morning, good morning. This is Anne with Real Life Concerns. I hope you're all well, and I hope that this video won't upset you. And I hope that you will like and share my videos, share the videos so that we can get as much, what should I say, input, as much real life um, concerns in regards to this video. Okay. I'm going to give an update because on the last video that I had some very good comments and comment from other people who are going through a situation with this topic. Now, what I'm going to talk about this morning is universal credit. I'm going to do an update on universal credit. So I hope that you will let me know your concerns, your situation with universal credit, and then we can talk some more on that. Now, I don't want to do this video and let it go over 10 minutes. I hope I can keep it short. I'm already 1.5 minutes in, so let's get straight into it. Now, my last video I did with universal credit, I was really annoyed, upset. I believe that universal credit is created to upset lives, to destroy lives. In my case, I'm going to use myself as an example here. In my case, my husband and I is not living together anymore. We are still together though, but we are not living together anymore. Okay? Because of universal credit. Now, partly because of universal credit. I won't sit here and tell you it's wholly on universal credit because that would be a lie. Partly because of universal credit, me and my husband is not working at this moment in time. We tried, and what universal credit did was so destroying, it was so devastating to us that we talked about it because we would be really struggling. Because back in my first video, you would notice, or you probably was informed, that my husband had moved in with us, so we become a whole family. Okay, and I informed universal credit of this, and universal credit just messed up big time. Mess us up big time, not them, but mess us up big time. Because universal credit stated that in your change of circumstances, they would not just cut your money, they would gradually reduce your money. That's a lie. Okay? They go in and they make one big cut. They never say, okay, this month this is what you would be entitled to, but we are gradually reducing your money until you're stable there. No. They went in and just slash. Anyway, update. I am still living as a single mother with my 2 disabled boys. My husband is living elsewhere. Okay, he's living in London. Because when he moved here, he could not get any work here straight away. He was unable to get a transfer from London to here. So we tried. So he lost that job and he was here. We went to the job center for support and they told us we had to wait 2 months. We had to wait 2 months for no money to show up in my husband's account before they were able to give him some assistance. Now, that would be devastating, very devastating to the family. Not just for me here, but also for him because he has no money. And he's a man who won't come and sit down and not have anything and are depending on what is coming home to live. He won't do that. Even though I try to say, look at it this way, he won't have it. So anyway, universal credit is now at a point where I can figure out, I can guess what I will be getting each month. Because what universal credit do, and I'm using my own situation here to explain in this video. Now, as I said, I am single. I have 2 children on the universal credit claim, and those 2 children are disabled. Okay? And I also have housing payments. I pay rent. Okay? Now, universal credit use these 4 elements okay, to work out my entitlement. On top of those 4, universal credit gives something for myself as a single person, and on top of that, because I get carers allowance, universal credit deduct carers allowance. All right, when I was in receipt of carers allowance. Okay, now universal credits use those to work out their entitlement for myself. Say that I earn £1,200 to £1,600 each month, because my wages fluctuate. It depends on how much, how many hours I work that month, that my pay would reflect. Okay, so I'm going to use the top end figure to say £1,600. Universal credit would use £1,600 to work out my entitlement for the month. Now, when the universal credit work out my entitlement, they said that I would be entitled to £2,640. Okay, that is before my entitlement. Now, sorry, before my my pay. Now, with my pay, universal credit would deduct. So what they do, they let me keep the first 37%. Okay, because they use 63% to work out how much they're going to deduct from your entitlement. So in my case, universal credit would let me keep somewhere around £280 a month. Okay, before they start taking. So £284, and then they would make their deduction. When they do their deduction, up to now I can't work out how they do their deduction, and I'm very good at maths, and I can't work it out yet. Okay, sometimes it seems like they do this and they do that and they do that, and it kind of add up. All right, and another time it just throw you, because you don't know where they get these figures from that they're using. Okay, I hope that somebody who is going to be watching this video are able to educate me in that respect. All right, I'm getting annoyed here again. Let's calm down. So universal credit will say that, okay, we're using this amount to work out your entitlement. So from the £2,640 that I initially would get, I would get somewhere around £1,200. Yeah, so you work this out. If I work £1,600 after tax and universal credit gives me £1,200, how much would that be? Around 3,000. Am I correct? Or 2,800. Yeah, right. Now, universal credit do not take into consideration that you have to pay to travel to work, you have to pay for lunch, you have to buy clothes to wear for work, and all those things. Whatever your what can I use? I'm stuck. My mind just drifted somewhere else. Sorry. Universal credit don't take any travel expense or anything into consideration when they're doing these workouts. So for that figure, I'd rather stay home, because every month that I go to work, I lose between £300 and £400 every month. Is that wise? Is there any incentive? No. A lot of times when I talk to my friends, they would say to me, why are you bothering? Why are you going to work? Stay home with them children. Stay home with those children, look after those children, and be with your children, because it does not worth going to work. It doesn't worth going to work, because on top of all this, we go through a lot of things, whether it is in the workplace, at home. There's so much stress, and with this pandemic that's going on right now, it does not worth going out there. So last month something happened at work, and I decided to stop work, because you know what, it is not worth me coming out here. And I'm going to do a video straight after this one in regards to work related stuff. But with the universal credit, once your benefit is calculated, so you have your entitlement will never change unless you have some other changes within that time. But if when you go over to universal credit and they worked out your entitlement, it's kind of stay the same. Okay? Now the only changes is when you're in work and whatever you work. So your work pay then becomes deducted from your entitlement. And with universal credit, they don't take into consideration that you have the disabled children, and that the disabled children should keep their disabled entitlement. No, whatever you have coming into that home is used to deduct from everything that you're entitled to with universal credit. So don't be mistaken that you will be able to keep your children disability payments from universal credit like it was with tax credit. No. And another thing I must say to you, one of my my viewer who wrote to me, this is for you. Universal credit, once you're on universal credit, you will never be able to go back to the old system, which is tax credit and working tax credit. Okay? You will never be able to go back to that system. So unfortunate for you, I'm sorry to say this, but it is unfortunate for you that you're here right now. You would eventually get over to universal credit, but it would probably take a longer time. Okay? When they have this thing all figured out properly, it probably would be better at a later date than it is right now. Because when you go over to universal credit, your tax credits stop automatically on that very same day. So the day that you make, or the day that they took you over to universal credit, is the day that your tax credit and your working tax credit stops. Okay? You won't get no money from them anymore. Universal credit will now start to pay towards your entitlement. So I'm very sorry to inform you of this, because a lot of the times they have not tell people that this is what is going to happen. A lot of people don't read, and a lot of people don't listen, a lot of people don't get these information. And I believe when the I'm gonna say the agent who is conducting your universal credit application process with you, right? I believe that they should be telling you that before you start making this claim, this is what is going to happen. So you have a choice. Because I do believe that a lot of people would stay on the old system instead of making this new system. This new system has some benefits, and I'm going to tell you what those benefits are. If you're not in work, this could be for you, because the benefit are that you'd get from universal credit is that you get all of your money in one. So you get your income support, what used to be your income support, your job seekers allowance, your working and support allowance, you'll still get that. Okay? One of those. Whichever you're entitled to, you will get. You will get housing payments. You will get your children or your child or your children entitlement. Okay? So you get all those in one. Now, if you're getting carer's allowance, they will deduct that from you because carer's allowance is paid separate. Okay, so they will deduct the carer's allowance from you, but that deduction, they also give you back some element for carers. Okay, so those are the things that they'll use, excuse me, to work out your entitlement. Once that is worked out, it will continue to remain the same unless you have any change in circumstances. Now for me, I have now decided that universal credit, I'd rather be home on universal credit than try to go and work, because it doesn't work. It doesn't benefit me at all. And a lot of people are going to find that it doesn't benefit them. So this system that should be encouraging people to stay in work, that should let people feel, the word is just gone. I struggle when it comes to these things. I know you'll be shouted at me and said this is the word that you should be using, but I can't think of it right now. Incentive, that's right. It should be giving us incentive to go and stay in work. They're not. They are not. And universal credit, if anyone works at universal credit will be watching this video, what you're doing is not incentivizing anybody to go out and work. It is not. Tax credit and working tax credit used to incentivize me to go out and work, and I'm a working person. I love to work. I'm struggling. I've been home since I think the 9th, and I'm struggling because I'm not used to staying home. But I have to find a way of staying home. I'm going to enroll myself onto some courses from home, you know, so I can learn other things, new things, to cope, to try and cope. I love my children dearly, and I would like to spend, and I know a lot of people would probably be saying this, I love to spend time with my children, but they are at the age that they want to do some things for themselves and want to be by themselves. So a lot of the times I'm here, and I'm here as a parent just to oversee my children, make sure that someone is at home over the age of 18. Okay? Because when my daughter, who's the oldest 21-year-old, who is at home, I normally go out and work. But now universal credit makes me, in a way, I staying home. They're making me stay home. I'm now a stay-home mom, and that's not what I want. This is not what I want to be. But instead of bettering off myself, I would be worse off. I will be worse off. And a lot of people are going to say the same thing with me. You are worse off working whilst on universal credit. There's no support. There's no help there. Okay? So this is what I want to say to you to recap quickly, is that your situation changes when you go onto universal credit. You will not be able to go back onto tax credit. I hear that some people are saying they want to get off universal credit, but the only way that you get off universal credit is if you go into work and somehow you're in a good paid job, and you won't struggle. Then yes, it's for you. Get off universal credit altogether. But if you will struggle, then there's no point, because this is what universal credit do to us. Universal credit wants to be in control. Universal credit wants to keep you single, because they don't it's no incentive when you're a family. But I'm not saying that you should do that because of universal credit, okay? But do what's best for you. What's best for you and your family, because at the end of the day you have to provide for your family. All right? So universal credit don't want to see families together. They want to split you apart. They control your lives. They tell you what you can't do and can do, and this is it. This is what it is. Tax credit, working tax credit, used to incentivize you to go out there and work. So you could work up to 40 hours and still be okay. You could work 48 hours and still be okay. on the old system. With this one, no, you're not. The more you earn is the less that they contribute to your household. So you figure out which is best for you and do what is best for you. And for me, it's not good for me. So now I'm staying home. Thank you for watching. Please keep your comments coming in, yeah, so we can do and talk about this a bit more if you need to. All right. Universal credit is something that will break you if you let it. So just sit down, work out what's best for you and your family, and just do what it is. Don't listen, don't watch what other people will say to you or what others want to say. I don't care. I'm doing what is best for me and my family. And at this moment in time is to stay home. Okay, until I find a job that's going to pay me to more than what Universal Credit would give to me, then I will do so. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on my next video. As I said, I will be doing another video straight after this one, and I hope that you will watch that one too. Take care of yourself and your family, and stay safe. See you soon. Bye-bye.